Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those guys who are new, let me introduce myself. My name is Joyce Wangoi Njorage. I was born and brought up in Kenya. Kenya is a country in East Africa. I went to Mount St. Mary's Girls Primary School, Moi Girls High School Eldoret, and then I went to the University of Nairobi where I studied actuarial science, and I also did CPA at Visions Institute of Professionals. So I'm a certified public accountant and I'm currently working as a captive account manager in the captive insurance industry. I currently live in the Cayman Islands, specifically in Grand Cayman, and I have a few friends who've been asking me, how did you get a job in the Cayman Islands? Can we get a job in the Cayman Islands? What is the cost of living in the Cayman Islands? Can we come with our kids? Please tell us a bit more about the Cayman Islands. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about how to move to the Cayman Islands and what to expect in terms of the cost of living, the location, the transportation, and many more. So if you're interested in this kind of video, please don't forget to like and share widely so that this information gets to a wider audience. Thank you. So first thing, I wanted to educate you guys. So many people ask me, how is the Caymans? Guys, this is not called the Caymans. This is called the Cayman Islands. It is made up of 3 islands: the Grand Cayman, Cayman Brac, and Little Cayman. I'll leave a map in the screen for you guys. We are British territory located south of Cuba and northwest of Jamaica. Again, I'll leave a map to show you just where the Cayman Islands is located so that you're able to visualize as I'm talking about it. So in this video, I'll be talking about the Grand Cayman because it is the biggest island. It is the island that I live on, and it is the island that most people move to. The Grand Cayman is about 76 square miles, and basically you can move from one end of the island to the other in about 1 hour 30 minutes or 1 hour 45 minutes drive, depending on the traffic. There are many reasons as to why I would encourage you guys to move here. First of all, it's a very beautiful island. It is a small island. There is a very low crime rate. There is decent pay, also depending on the kind of role that you're applying for. And it has very good weather. The downside to moving here though is that the cost of living can be high. So first thing first, let me talk about the conversion of the Cayman Island dollar, also known as KYD, to the United States dollar. This will make it easier for you to relate or to convert or even to understand as I talk about prices throughout this video. The exchange rate of the United States dollar to the Cayman Island dollar has been a fixed rate over the last 10 years. The rate is 80 cents Cayman Island dollars is equals to 1 United States dollar. In other words, 100 United States dollars is equals to 80 Cayman Island dollars. So the Cayman Island dollar is stronger than the United States dollar. So let's talk about jobs. If you're looking to move to the Cayman Islands and you're not independently wealthy, you will have to look for a job. If you're not a Caymanian, you will need a work permit in order for you to live and work in the Cayman Islands. You can only apply for permanent residency after 9 years of living and working in the Cayman Islands. That is a story for another day. I think I'll make a video specifically dedicated to applying for permanent residency in the Cayman Islands. So how do you apply for jobs in the Cayman Islands? You can apply for jobs in the Cayman Islands in one of 3 ways. The first one is through direct application in company websites. This is how I got my first job in the Cayman Islands. where I worked in KPMG in the Cayman Islands. Basically, I just went to the website for KPMG in the Cayman Islands. I went to the career section. I looked at the open opportunities. I checked which one suited me most at that time and clicked apply and applied for it. So that is how I got my first job. The second way in which you can get jobs in the Cayman Islands is through agents. There are a number of agents in the Cayman Islands whose main job is to match people with the roles that are open in the Cayman Islands. So basically, there are a number of companies that might not want to recruit directly, or they don't have a HR office. So these companies normally go to agents and then they give the agent a fee. So the company that is recruiting is the one to pay the agent. So you will go to the agent and then you can give them a CV and then they'll match you to any jobs that come up. That is how I got my current role as a captive account manager. The third way in which I see people getting jobs here is through word of mouth and through LinkedIn. A number of people are headhunted through LinkedIn, and that is why I encourage most people to have a good profile in LinkedIn, because sometimes the recruiters will just go to LinkedIn, read your profile, and approach you directly, and that is how you'll get a job. So some people also asked, if we get a job there, can we move with our kids? It is important to note that in order for you to move to the Cayman Islands with your kids, you have to be earning a certain amount of money in order for you to add them as dependents to your work permit. I think it is around 3,500 USD, but I am not sure, so please don't quote me on that. Also, the amount of money required in order for you to add one kid is not the same amount of money required for you to add 2 kids to your work permit. The more the kids, the more amount of money you're required to earn at a minimum. It is also important to note that if you get a job in the Cayman Islands and you're not a Caymanian, or you're not married to a Caymanian, or you're not on a government contract, your kids cannot go to a public school. They'll have to go to a private school. Private school fees are anywhere upward from 500 Cayman Island dollars per child per month, and that is on the lower end. So let's assume you've already gotten a job here and you're asking, so when I come there, where would you recommend for me to live? And would you recommend for me to own a house or to rent a house? The answer to that is where you live will depend on your personal circumstances. Do you want to live near town, or would you prefer to commute? Do you like the countryside? Do you have to have a pool in your area? Do you mind sharing a house with someone else? And also, are you here for a short while and then you want to move on, or would you like to invest in the Cayman Islands? All this will determine how much rent you want to pay, or whether you want to invest and pay a mortgage towards owning your own house. So here is a map of Grand Cayman. Most businesses are in Georgetown, West Bay Road, and Camana Bay. Rent is normally higher along West Bay Road, and it's typically lower in the eastern districts, that is Prospect, Bordentown, and East End. However, if you decide to live past Hurley's roundabout, traffic is normally a nightmare. I can attest to that because I live just past Hurley's roundabout. It's around 2 minutes drive from my house to Hurley's roundabout. People that live in Bordentown and East End have to wake up earlier because the commute is longer, and there's a lot of traffic, especially for people who live in Bordentown. They tell me that it's a nightmare in the morning and in the evening. It is cheaper renting in the eastern districts, but you'll have to weigh whether it is worth waking up that early. It is just for you to weigh whether the convenience is worth the cost of the rent. So to find places to rent, you can check in the newspaper. You can also check in ektrade.com. I leave a link in the description box down below in case you're interested in looking it up or browsing through. Trade looks like this. In Trade, you can find places to rent, you can find pets, you can find jobs, you can find anything. Basically, Trade is the Cayman version of Craigslist or eBay or Amazon. The rent for a decent place to live in Grand Cayman ranges anywhere upwards from 750 KYD. The next thing I wanted to talk about is transportation. While public transportation is available on the island, my advice would be for you to transfer your driver's license as soon as you get to the Cayman Islands and buy a car. Although the island is small, the sun is very hot and most of the infrastructure is built to cater for traffic and vehicles. This means that most areas do not have sidewalks or shelters to cater for high public transport use. In addition, the public transport service times are not largely regulated, so you might find yourself waiting for a bus for more than 30 minutes. There are taxi services that are available and cars for hire, but if you take this on a daily, they can really add up and become expensive in the long run. Similar to when you're searching for rental places, you can use Trade to find vehicles to purchase. This will range from used vehicles to new vehicles. I'll leave a screenshot of Trade auto and boats on the screen for you guys. There are also car dealers such as Tony's Toys, Vamped Motors, Advanced Motors and GT Motors, where you can find electric vehicles, you can find new vehicles, you can find all brands of cars in the Cayman Islands. So it's for you to choose whichever suits your preference. You can also import vehicles from Japan using things such as B-Forward, SBT Japan. That is what I did for my current vehicle. We imported it from Japan. But remember, when you import a vehicle, you have to pay duty on the vehicle plus other charges. If it is a used vehicle, for example, when we imported the vehicle that I'm using currently, we had to pay 29.5% of the cost, insurance and freight value of the car, plus an environmental fee of 1,000 Cayman Island dollars, plus a waste handling fee of 250 Cayman Island dollars. So basically, when you're thinking about importing a car into the Cayman Islands, you have to factor in all those costs. So let's talk about the cost of living in Grand Cayman. I feel that the cost of living in Grand Cayman is quite high. So for the cost of living, we are going to look at items such as groceries, electricity, water, gas, entertainment, and self-care, things such as salon costs. I find groceries to be very expensive here. It can range anywhere from 200 to 500 Cayman Island dollars per month per person. It is also important to note that all major grocery stores are closed on Sundays. However, you can still shop in the mini-marts, but the prices there are even more expensive. I'm going to show on the screen the cost of milk in the Cayman Islands and the cost of the same milk in the US. As you can see, the cost of milk in the US is half the cost of the milk in the Cayman Islands. Just to give you another example, let me show you on the screen the cost of bread in the US versus the cost of bread in the Cayman Islands. I'm using Walmart in the US and a grocery store here in the Cayman Islands called Hallis to show you the price differences. It is the same brand of bread, but it costs almost 4 times in the Cayman Islands compared to the US. So electricity is also very expensive here in the Cayman Islands. As you know, it is quite hot for the most part in the Cayman Island, so you will need air conditioning. So depending on your property, whether it's energy efficient or whether you're sharing, the number of appliances that you're using, the kind of air conditioning you're using, the electricity cost or electricity bill can range anywhere from $200 upwards. So it depends on your usage also. So gas is about $5.05 on average per gallon. I've lived in the Cayman Islands for the last 4 years, and I can tell you guys, when we came here, the cost of gas per gallon was around $3.89. That was in 2018. Right now in 2021, last week I bought gas and it was going at $5.05 per gallon. So guys, the cost of living has really increased in the Cayman Islands. Water is not expensive. I find water to be the cheapest utility on the island. It can range anywhere upwards from $50, also depending on the size of your property and your usage of the same. So for entertainment, also I've noticed that this has become very, very high. This depends on you. How often do you want to go out? How often do you want to eat out? And even when you eat out, which types of restaurants do you frequent most? Do you want to go to the movies? Do you want to go to different events? Do you drink alcohol? What kind of alcohol do you drink? Do you drink wines? And which kinds of wines do you drink? Where do you go and buy those drinks? So all these factors will determine your entertainment budget. In short, it depends on your financial situation. Some people have a $400 budget for entertainment. Some people have a $1,000 budget for entertainment. Some people have $50 budget for entertainment per month. So basically, it depends on your budgeting and you as a person. So the final one that I'm going to talk about for cost of living is the salon stroke pampering stroke self-care. So I'll talk about the salon because that is what I frequent most as a lady. Depending on your style and your hairdresser and also the location of the salon, the prices will be different. So for the hairdresser that I go to, for medium-sized braids, I can give that as an example. She charges me $80. That will include washing and doing the braids, but I will have to buy the braids separately for myself. So for the nails stroke acrylics, if you want to do the nails and put the acrylics, I did that for my birthday last year but one, and I was charged $85. That is for the cost of the acrylics and the service to do the acrylics, and I also did gel polish. So I haven't done that this year, so I definitely don't know how much it costs, but I think on average you can just budget for $85. That is KYD. So massage also depends on the massage parlor that you go to and the hotel that you go to, whether it's a 5-star hotel or it's just a massage parlor, or also whether it's a medical massage or just a regular massage. So last year also, during my birthday, I did some massage, deep tissue massage, and I paid $125 for 1 hour and 30 minutes. So guys, I'll insert a clip here that shows the cost of living in the Cayman Islands in comparison with the US and the UK. Generally, they say that the cost of living in the Cayman Islands is 56% more expensive than in the UK. So guys, I hope this video was informative for you, and I hope I answered at least 20% of the questions that you had asked. I know that I might not have touched everything. In case you want me to dig deep into any topic, please do not hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I will definitely respond to you. So until next time, guys, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And in everything you do, remember, you're wonderfully and fearfully made, and everything else the Word of God says you are. Bye, guys.